Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is still on alphabetic list problems. Started on letter T. I talked about tachycardia yesterday. Today I'm going to talk about the tachypnea, which is the faster breathing. First of all, let me just bring up the emergency situation associated with this tachypnea. Definitely it's emergency in most of the case because we know the ABCDs. The A means the airway. We have to secure it first. If breathing fast, usually means something really serious going on, unless in children the fever can cause breathing fast, or in a young adult, healthy young adult. For older people, of course, sometimes fever and sometimes other serious problems. So let me just bring up the emergency situation associated with this tachypnea. Definitely, for the young children, the fever, we all know that young children had viral infection sometimes, and the fever can be brought down by the medication. But if complicated by the bacterial infections, pneumonia, or just viral pneumonia deep, the fever cannot be brought down, and with fast breathing, that's the emergency. And also for any healthy people, if you have fever, cannot brought down by the medication, cause this tachypnea, definitely it's an emergency. Go see your physician as soon as possible. And for those who had older or who had pre-existing medical conditions, particularly the lung diseases like COPD, asthma, or heart disease, suddenly develop this heart tachypnea, breathing faster. Whether you feel difficulty breathing or not, but you think you feel like the breathing is really kind of heavy and fast, go to the emergency. That might be indicating some serious problems. So this is about the emergency situation. Can you manage at home? I always talk about this emergency or manage at home. Like I mentioned, sometimes fever can cause this tachypnea, breathing fast, in subtle way. But if it is just a regular viral-caused upper respiratory tract infection, you took some medications over the counter, and the breathing back to normal with the temperature dropped. If that's the case, you can. However, if the temperature dropped but still breathing fast, or if the temperature cannot brought down by the medications, don't hesitate. See your physician, even though it's not emergency, but talk to your physician to advise you, to guide you to treat it. So this is about the two end, emergency and mild form, manage at home. Let me just brought up what is the tachypnea referring to. Usually refers to the breathing faster than 20 per minute. That's kind of this is not quite commonly used term, but it's usually, if you go to the clinic, you know that your nurse check your temperature, checked your pulse, checked your blood pressure. You did not notice they counting your breathing, but they can watch. There's a normal range. If you're breathing faster or slow, they can tell. So that's why they do not measure it. But so this is about the fundamental definition of this tachypnea. And what are the causes for this tachypnea? Like I think I already mentioned, the most common one is the fever. Fever can cause this heart rate increase, breathing increase, particularly those fever associated with congestions, shortness of breath and breathing faster, especially in the children. So this is about the cause, and also the other common cause is the lung disease, of course, from pneumonia, asthma, COPD, or any kind of the lung disease can be associated with this breathing fast tachypnea, because the fast breathing is to compensate the lung which is not to carry on the normal function. So in terms of the volume, and then how to bring up the oxygen, to bring in the oxygen the body needs, increase the rate. This is a mechanical mechanism, either increase volume or increase the frequency. So this is, if the volume cannot be met of the body requirement, so then increase the frequency. So that's a fundamental mechanical mechanism applied to the body, either lung or heart, the same idea. If the heart cannot pump enough volume, then what happened? Increase the rate, heart rate. So the same idea for the respiratory function. If the lung cannot bring enough oxygen due to the volume shrinked or exchange problem like anemia. So that's the other compensation ways to increase breathing. So this is about the tachypnea. So we talk about the anemia. I talk about the fever is one of the most common cause, and then the anemia is also another cause, can cause increased breathing, like I mentioned, because the hemoglobin not enough, cannot carry enough oxygen, then the lung compensatory to increase the breathing rate to cause this tachypnea. And also, of course, asthma, because the narrowed of the pathway of the breathing, so then definitely decrease the volume and decrease oxygen to the body, so then compensate ways to increase breathing, which quite actually dangerous, I mean urgent situation, along with the COPD is the same idea, because the lung, COPD is the lung cannot really, the membranous structure for the oxygen exchange is damaged, so definitely the exchanging process, not just the obstructive breathing, the pathway of this delivering oxygen and the transport oxygen and exchange, all impaired in the COPD, particularly the end stage. So this is about, so these are all the causes can increase the breathing rate, tachypnea. And heart disease also can cause this tachypnea, breathing faster. The heart disease from simply just the ischemic, because the ischemic causes the sensation like the body, lack of the perfusion from the heart, lack of the perfusion, lack of oxygen, then the body compensate response is the increased breathing, try to deliver more oxygen. As a matter of fact, it's not, but this is just the mechanism of compensation causes this tachypnea. And pulmonary embolism, the other cause is, you can say it is respiratory, but it's also the heart or cardiovascular problem, because the coagulated emboli fall into the lung cause this respiratory problem. Definitely one of the signs, increased heart rate, sometimes may increase the breathing. So these are the common cause of this tachypnea. Sometimes living in the altitude also can cause this, because the chronic hypoxia can increase this respiratory rate. But that's just the environment cause. So this is the very common recognized tachypnea. It's not easy to miss. However, their situation can miss this tachypnea, like the chronic disease cause this chronic hypoxia, then definitely will increase the breathing rate in a subtle way. Usually, if this tachypnea occurred, really it's kind of urgent or indicating something serious going on, unless the fever I mentioned. So regardless the cause, or regardless whether it's minor or it's serious, whether you can manage or not manage at home, if you have this breathing faster than 20 per minute, I think do not be hesitant. Talk to your physician, even though it's not urgent. I think it's quite urgent. Go see the emergency as soon as possible. Even you know it's not, but still call your physician to find out, to get some professional opinion to guide you. So this is about tachypnea. I'm going to stop here today, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.